Ladies and gentlemen, we are at week 1 of the FCS season, the spring season here, and you are watching or listening, I guess, depending what you're doing on YouTube, the second episode of the Coda FCS Pick'em Show. I'm Pace Meyer. You can find me on Twitter at Coda Capper Pace, and alongside me, I don't know, left, right, I don't know my directions here, is Brandon Russell at BRuss35 on Twitter. Brandon, week 1, we are ready. 11 games, 11 lines. I'm ready to talk about this. It's going to be a fun weekend.
Football's back. It's always great when football's back. So I'm ready to rock and roll.
All right, let's get it. As many of you may or may not know, I'm an NDSU guy. Brandon is a SDSU guy now. He picked up a second sweatshirt. I mean, the dude is just bringing in the merch left and right. So he is supporting those Jackrabbits, and it's gonna be a good season. Little show rivalry between the two of us here, Brandon. So we have 11 games, Brandon. Tonight is obviously the biggest game. UNI, South Dakota State, your boys at Northern Iowa. It's a top 5 matchup. SDSU is number 5. UNI is number 3. The over/under is 42.5. So like I said, we have 11 games. One Friday, Fairmount. I think 8. Saturday, and 3 or 4. The math might not work out on that on Sunday. So, but Brandon, your Jackrabbits kick it off week 1 in Northern Iowa. What do you like here? SDSU -2. The last I saw, the over under, like I said, 42.5. Who you rolling with here?
I mean, first of all, they got to start the season off with the best. You know, they got to throw the Jackrabbits in there to kick the season off. No other way to do it. But I like South Dakota State -2. I think they go on the road. I think that Pierre Strong Jr. is going to have a big game, and I'm leaning towards the over. I think that I don't know how the defenses are going to fare coming into this with barely any time to practice or whatever, restricted time to practice. So I like the over 42.5 as well.
Yeah, I like that pick too. And I think that's a trend that I'm going to maybe lean on in week 1 here. You just don't know how how anyone's offenses are going to roll, right? In the spring, the first ever spring season. So I like that under there. As much as it pains me to say this, I also like South Dakota State here, Brandon, -2 on the road against UNI, the number 3 team in the land in the preseason poll. Brandon, it's been almost 450 days since South Dakota State's been on the football field. Obviously, they got some real good quarterbacks, the sophomores. And I don't know if Coach has came out with his starting quarterback yet, but obviously Jabari Gibbs. You also have Keaton Heide there, and a true freshman. Gibbs started 6 games last season for the Jacks, but he missed some time to an injury as well. So they definitely have some talented quarterbacks there on the offensive side of the ball. The defense is going to be another strong team as well. So I like the Jacks here. I like them on the road. I'll take the -2 with them, and I'm not going to take a play on this over/under. If I did, though, I also like under 42.5 there.
I said the over 42.
Oh, you took the over. Okay.
I took the over. I don't know if I'm going to play any of the over/unders this first week. I want to see kind of how things play out. It's going to be really interesting. Like, are the offenses going to show up, or the defense is going to show up? Is nobody going to show up? We'll see what happens. And the Jacks, might be a touchdown, 10-point game. We'll see. I think the Jacks far superior to UNI.
Yeah, UNI definitely does have a quarterback, a solid quarterback who might be one of the best quarterbacks in the Missouri Valley Football Conference in Will McEvlin. And he's a very solid passer. He passed for close to 3,000 yards as a freshman last season and had a 20-7 touchdown to interception ratio. They also have some nice wideouts, 6'4" guy, Isaiah Weston. He hauled in 43 passes and 10 touchdowns, Brandon, in 2019. So they definitely have a nice 1-2 punch there. But I don't know. I think South Dakota State can get this. It's going to be a very interesting game. They're going to kick week 1 off, and my guys, NDSU, are going to end week 1. So would you rather kick off week 1, Brandon, or be the final game in week 1?
I want all eyes on everybody's going to tune in on the first week, the first game of the season, first big game. So I want all eyes on me.
Yeah.
So I'd rather be the Jackrabbits.
Yeah, I think I agree. And there's only one game Friday too. That's huge. There's like 3 or 4 on Sunday. NDSU is the final game, but you do have some other games to compete with there as well. All right, so we are on the same side on the spread with the Jackrabbits -2 on the road. UNI again, the over/under at 42.5 there on Friday, February 29th, later today. Brandon, we're just kind of touch on the big games, right? The games that we're going to be tuning into. This game I'm probably not going to tune into much past the first quarter, but Morehead State at James Madison. The JMU Dukes are 42.5-point favorites. The over/under 52.5. That is a lot of points, Brandon. 42.5. Can the Dukes cover against Morehead State this weekend?
I don't know. That's 8. That's 7 touchdowns. That's a ton of points. No Ben DiNucci for the Dukes. He's playing with Dallas now. So who are they going to throw in at quarterback? I just don't see a team cover and winning by more than 42 points on, opening week. I think it'd be like 35-7, 35-14, something like that. I think they win handedly, but I don't think we're going to see an absolute beatdown, coming out of the gates week 1. But I say that, and then they're probably going to win like 63-7. So, but I'm going with Morehead State -42 or plus 42.5.
All right. That's some numbers I would never think to hear out of a sports capper's mind. Plus 42.5. But there we go. Morehead State. Brandon, I'm going to flip the script on you. I'm going to go James Madison minus 42.5. I will lay the points there with the Dukes. Morehead State hasn't had a winning record since 2015. A team that's struggled mightily in the last few seasons. The Dukes do have some holes that they got to fill up, but they should be strong again. They have a great coach and a well-coached squad, and they have talent all around, offensively, defensively, special teams wise. So I'm going to take the Dukes here, minus 42.5. I'm not going to take a play on the total, but I lean the over. I think the Dukes could score 50, and heck, if Morehead State can get a touchdown, there's your over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 52.5. If James Madison puts up 42, 49, somewhere in there, all you need really is field goal really is all you need for Morehead State. And I'd be leaning over too. Like I said, I'm not going to take any of these totals the first week. I want to see how they play out with this first week, and then we'll get into them week 2. But I'd be leaning over as well. I think James Madison is going to put up some points.
Yeah, I totally agree there. So I do like that strategy, staying away from the totals, but I can't. I just can't. I gotta have my hands everywhere. And so we'll see on Monday or later next week how I'm feeling, how I come out ahead on that. So Brandon, the next game we'll head up is Samford -6 at East Tennessee State. The over/under is 57. I think this is going to be a underrated contest between these two squads. I really, really like ETSU at home +6. They have a redshirt freshman quarterback in Tyler Rydell. And a veteran running back, a very strong running back in Quay Holmes. And they have a pretty solid secondary as well. So I think they can slow Samford down. So I'll take the points with ETSU +6.
I know nothing about these. I'm going to go Lee Corso mode here. I'm going ETSU +6 as well. Okay. Because a kid in high school that I knew was from the same town that East Tennessee State is in. So I'm rolling with them.
All right. A little connection play there. I like it.
Exactly. The Lee Corso move.
There you go. Very nice. Samford has an air raid passing game. So this should be a pretty high scoring game as well. The total's at 57. I'm going to stay away from that total. But I like ETSU at home +6. Might even lay a little 2 units on that. We'll see. Again, you can follow Brandon at BRuss35. You can follow me on Twitter at CoderCapperPace. We'll tweet out all our picks going into week 1 in the FCS spring season here. So Brandon, another one. This is kind of close to home to me. Southern Illinois -2.5 at the University of North Dakota. The Fighting Hawks now. The over/under is 47.5. Where are you leaning on this one?
I mean, I don't know. I like Southern Illinois a lot. I think that they could, potentially sneak in there as a team that snags one of those at-large bids for the tournament. But, heading on the road to North Dakota, I don't know. I think I'm going to say Southern Illinois by like a field goal, a touchdown, maybe. I think 2.5 is the perfect number right now. They 3 points is easy win. And then over, like I said, an over under, I'd probably lean towards the under
Okay.
47.5.
All right. I like that. I like this Southern Illinois team too. -2.5. I like it if you can get it before it jumps to maybe -3, a field goal. And a field goal would get you a win if you get it at 2.5. So, Brandon, SIU, they have a strong running game. DJ Davis was 1,000-yard rusher last year. They also have a very talented group of front 7 players on the defensive side of the ball. Mikel Calhoun is that leader on the defense. He's that linebacker. They also have some pretty strong secondary there with Quay Brown as a safety. And I think they'll be able to hold down UND. I think this is going to be a little low-scoring game, but UND does have a good pass rush. That offensive line is fairly talented, but I just think SIU has too much on both sides of the ball to at least win by a field goal. So I'm going to roll with SIU there as well, -2.5.
I like it. Go Salukes.
There we go. Another great logo in FCS in
That's
FCS
right.
world. Another game here, Brandon. Probably our closest game as far as a line goes. We have Northwestern State -1 at Lamar. Over under is at 57.5, a little higher. You have a pick on this game? You know anything about these two teams?
I know nothing about either of these teams. I'm throwing it. Just give me Northwestern State.
Hey, there we go. On the road, Northwestern State -1. Lamar's offense, Brandon, is going to look a little different this season. Last year's quarterback is now a wide receiver, Marcellus Johnson. So he's going to be catching passes from a new quarterback in the system, Austin Scott. Last season, Northwestern, though, they did have some success throwing the football. And Lamar has a weak secondary, Brandon, coming into this game. So I'm going to roll with Northwestern State -1 as well on the road against Lamar. Over under 57.5. Probably won't touch this. So I'm going to roll with Northwestern State -1 as well. I also like Northwestern State. This will be Lamar's, the head coach. This will be his first game head coaching, Blaine Morgan, coaching the Cardinals. So I like Northwestern State in this spot -1.
Yep, I know nothing about either of these teams, so let's just roll with it. Go Northwestern State.
All right, there we go. Let's see. We have a couple more games here left. All these games are on Sunday, so we'll roll through these quick here, Brandon. We have Eastern Illinois University at Tennessee Martin. Tennessee Martin, a 13.5-point favorite at home. Over under at 48.5. Where are you rolling with this one?
13.5. I got to go with my boys Tennessee Martin. I think that get it before it gets up to 14, so you can get that 2 touchdowns. I think that they kind of run away with this one pretty easily, and maybe lean towards the over.
All right, there we go. Brandon's going the home team and the over. Brandon, if you don't know who John Bacchus is, you'll want to get to know this guy. He's an elite quarterback for UT Martin, Tennessee Martin. And this team also has a very strong pass rush on the defensive side of the ball. I think this line might be a little too high between these two squads. So I am actually going to go with the Road Dogs, EIU, on the road, plus 13.5. I'm not going to touch that over under. If I had to lean one way or the other, I do like the over in this contest, especially with Bacchus at the QB position for UT Martin. He can put up some points quick. So I'm actually going to go with EIU, coming off a 1-11 season last season. But they were competitive. They played a lot of close games. They just couldn't close out games. So I'm going to roll with them and hope for a bounce back this season.
I like it.
There we go. All right, Brandon, 2 more games here on the docket for Sunday. We have Austin Peay -6.5. They also have one of the I believe the youngest coach in all of college football at 30 years old with Mr. John. I know we talked about him on our first episode. Can't remember his last name. Walden, I think. But Austin Peay is -6.5 at Tennessee Tech. The over-under is 65 points, Brandon. You're going to touch any of that. 65 points is a lot of points.
That's a lot of points for a first game in the spring. I don't know. From what I've read, I don't think Austin Peay did not look impressive in the fall when they played. They lost to Central Arkansas. And then a couple, obviously you play FBS teams going up a level. It's going to be tough losses, 55-0, 55-20. But it's going to be closer than I'm rolling with Tennessee Tech
Okay.
+7. The home dogs, got to roll with them.
All right. I like it. I'm actually going to go to the over 65 points here, Brandon. Might surprise some people, but let me tell you something. This game is going to set the tone for your Sunday afternoon, kind of going into Monday. So I'm going to cheer for a lot of points here, 2:30 in the afternoon. So definitely check out on that. The reason I'm going over, Brandon, Austin Peay has two great wide receivers, but Nico Hartley and D'Angelo Wilson. And on the other side, Tennessee Tech, their defense secondary, not that good. They also have a very strong quarterback in Bailey Fisher, and 9 starters are back for Tennessee Tech. So I am going to roll the over 65 points here, and I'm going to take Tennessee Tech as well at home with that experience on the offensive side of the ball coming back. I think they can make this a game, and I wouldn't be surprised if they outright win this ball game.
That's right. Let's roll with it. Go Tech. I might sprinkle over. You convinced me.
Oh, there we go. It didn't take much, but Brandon's on the over.
No. Doesn't take much for me to get on the over.
Exactly. Well, you just don't want to be cheering for 65 points and under, and then all of a sudden they just can't stop anybody, and you have 100.
Listen, I'd rather cheer for a bunch of points than them get to like 60 and be like, no, don't score anymore because I just want more points. That's boring to me.
Yeah,
that's not a good way to live life.
Only psychopaths go for the unders. So
exactly.
We're both going the over 65 points there. I also like Tennessee Tech in this spot +6.5. Brandon, our final game of week 1, Youngstown State, the Penguins, your boy, Jim Tressel at North Dakota State, the Fargo Dome, NDSU 22.5 point favorites. Might seem like a lot in a conference game. The over-under is 52.5. I mean, I bet on your Jackrabbits earlier in the show. Are you betting on the Bison?
I'm going to do it. I trust Zeb. I'm going to roll with Zeb Nolan. It's the Zeb Nolan era begins in Fargo. It's going to get off with a bang. Youngstown State is now what they used to be. So yeah, I like the Bisons minus 22.5.
I like it. NDSU has obviously built their program on forcing turnovers and playing solid defense. Youngstown State, this will be a rebuilding year. First year head coach, obviously. And they do have a veteran quarterback, Brandon, and Joe Craycraft, a great name there, and a decent secondary. But again, they're headed to the Fargo Dome. Yeah, fewer fans. It's not going to be the normal year. It's not going to be the normal atmosphere. Youngstown State's going to actually be able to relay plays from the sideline to their quarterback. You know, the fans won't be yelling so loud. The decibels will be a little lower. But Zeb Nolan, man, I'm riding Zeb Nolan. It's going to be a coming out party for him. And Zeb Nolan, Christian Watson connection on the offensive side of the ball. I like that. So I'm going to go with NDSU minus 22.5. I also like the over 52.5 in this game as well.
Are the Bisons going to get that 52.5 themselves, you think?
No, but they'll score 40. They'll score 41.
Yeah.
42.
Okay.
Youngstown State.
Yeah,
Youngstown State, they probably won't score their first points until late in the third quarter, I'm going to say.
Okay. Bold prediction. Wow. Yeah, I just don't know how Youngstown State can, like, traveling from Ohio all the way out here to Fargo, and you're like, oh my gosh, we got to go play the number 1 team in the country, and we're in a rebuilding year, and they're just going to plug in more guys, and then we're just going there just to get our teeth kicked in.
Yeah,
like this just does not have to be a good feeling getting on that plane tomorrow.
Nope, the confidence cannot be too high, but
no.
You never know. So that's why they play the game, right? Yeah, we've seen some odd things happen in the FCS. So NDSU with those 9 starters back on offense, I'm just going to roll with them minus 22.5. And Zeb Nolan, I'm on the Zeb Nolan trains. I like it.
Choo choo.
Choo choo. All the way to Zeb Nolan town. All right, Brandon. 11 games. We went over about 6, 7, 8 of them, and it's going to be a fun week 1. Yeah, so I'm excited to watch some football. Football is back, like you said earlier in the show, and so just excited to watch it. Again, you can follow the show. Yeah, no comment. However, I will have a reaction video on that game on my Twitter. I'll be tuned in, locked in, from the start, first play to the last play. So hopefully you and I can get it done. Although I am going to roll with SDSU -2 on the road. So there we go, Brandon. That's show 1, man. So episode 2, week 1.
Episode 2, week 1.
Yep.
Just chugging along, just churning out content.
There we go. Chewing along. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for joining us. If you want to watch our season preview episode, that's on our YouTube as well. And you can follow the show's Twitter at FCS_Pick'em Show. You can follow Brandon on Twitter at BRuss35. You can follow myself on Twitter at Coda Capper Pace. And tweet us your bets, what you're liking this FCS week 1. And just excited to bet on some more football, watch some football, and make some money this weekend. So hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
Oh, wait, real quick, before we go, I wanted to point out New Mexico State FBS program, right?
Yep.
Tarleton State just played their first FCS game last week, right?
That is correct. Yep.
Just came up from Division II, and it's a pick 'em.
Oh, my
God. At this moment.
No wonder I didn't have that on my board. What the heck?
That's how sad is that New Mexico State is at a pick 'em with a team that you
All right,
just realized that.
Who are you rolling with in that game?
I got to go with Tarleton.
I think so too.
I
think so too.
Like, is New Mexico State that bad? Like, I know they're bad FBS wise, but are they bad that they're a pick 'em with a team that just came up to FCS last week?
Again, an FBS school, FCS school, and it's a pick 'em. That's very, very sad.
New Mexico State they're falling on tough times. They were a once proud program.
Yes. Fun fact, I would always rock them in NCAA 14 because they were so trash.
It was either them or like Idaho were the two schools that we always started out with.
The Idaho Dome place is legit.
The Kibbe Dome.
Yeah, it's something. It is something.
When that place gets rocking, I tell you what, there's no tougher place to play in the country.
I heard the best Dippin' Dots in the western side of the United States at that stadium.
That's why I've heard that as well.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there's our week 1 show, episode 2, the lines, and we're ready to roll, ready to make some money, and hope everyone does well. And of course, Brandon, like we end every show, go Bison.